Good morning. Thank you for joining me on day 22 of this 30-day Yogalates challenge. Today's practice is focusing on our hips as well as on our glutes, a good mix of strength as well as stretch. We're going to start in a seated pigeon pose. So you can have your legs extended out in front of you. And you can just prop yourself up on your hands here. We're gonna cross the right ankle over the top of the left knee. And then you bend and bring that left foot in as much as is appropriate to you. And you can use your hands to kind of push your chest forward. So you get to really control the depth of the pose. The more you bring that leg in, the deeper this will be felt. I like to just rock a little bit side to side, just changing where I feel this through my right hip. Trying not to slouch or round and contract too much. Staying lifted while still also pressing the shoulders away from the ears. And go ahead and straighten that left leg. Bring your right foot to the inside of the thigh and just let yourself fold forward, passive forward fold, head to knee here. So not forcing ourselves in the pose, just stretching along the back of the spine and down through that left leg. Not worrying about how far down we are or are not going. You can use your hands pressing into the floor to roll yourself up, and we'll just take a seated twist before doing this on the second side. So you can lift your right knee up and cross that right foot over the top of the left thigh. Really push down into that big toe. Hug the thigh in towards your chest. Right hand goes behind you and twist a little bit more, but really focus on squeezing that thigh in towards your center so that you're still getting a nice stretch into that right hip. And releasing to face forward, uncross the legs, and we'll find reclined pigeon on the other side. So cross the left ankle over the top of your right knee, propping yourself up on your hands behind you, and then bend into that right knee any amount. Maybe rocking a little bit here as well. You might notice that one side maybe has a little bit more ease or more restriction than the other. It's very normal to have those asymmetries in our body. It's just good to be mindful of it so we can adjust. And we'll come into our head to knee pose stretch. So you can straighten the right leg out in front of you, bring the left foot to the inside of that thigh, and let yourself fold and round. Can you even soften and relax your jaw? Letting the arms be heavy and the belly relaxed. Pushing the hands into the floor, roll back up inch by inch and carry this over into a twist. So left knee lifts up, cross your left foot over your thigh, push into that big toe and really squeeze that thigh to your chest. Allow this to lengthen you up and maintain that length even as you rotate. So spinal twist, but also trying to get into our left hip. And releasing from here. Let's find our way onto hands and knees, but you're actually going to come down onto your left forearm. So working on strengthening the glutes now a little bit more and working through the hip. I'm down on my left forearm and I'm going to reach my right toes, right leg out behind me. Draw the lower belly in a little bit so you're not swaying too much through your lower back. And we're just going to squeeze to lift up and tap it down. So going for 10, 9, try to really stay stable through that left knee and right hand. For 6, 5, a little bit of an external hip rotation. Last 3, 2, and hold it at the top for 1 and just do little pulses. So again, keep trying to draw that lower belly in and up so that you're really engaging and strengthening through the glute rather than just swaying through your lower back. Pulsing 3, 2, 1. Holding here like you're tracing a rainbow. You're going to tap one corner of your mat, lift all the way up through to center, and then tap towards the opposite corner of the mat. So just going from one to the other. Five more here. This is 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring it back in, up onto your hands, round and contract. And we'll go do the same sequence over on the other side. So prop yourself down on your right forearm and extend that left leg back. So really important. I know sometimes I'm not the best person to demo this. I do have a lot of mobility in my lower back, so I really have to be careful to keep the abdominals engaged. So squeeze and lift and tap it down. So maybe it means your leg does not go as high as it could, but you're really working through the seats. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top and just do little pulses here. So even more important for these pulses that you're drawing the lower belly in and up and not swaying through your lower back, really isolating through the legs, through the seat. For 3, 2, 1, and let's find that rainbow shape. So tap one corner of your mat, lift up, and tap the other one. So this is 2, 3, tapping 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way back. Let's press ourselves up. Downward facing dog. And from this downward dog, really stretch. See if you can open up a little bit more through the back of the legs. We'll walk our hands to the back of the mat, setting ourselves up for Malasana, into our squat, heels in, toes out, bend into your knees. Hands can come at the front of the heart, pressing those knees open a little bit wider. And coming into pigeon pose, you can transition and do this either from tabletop or downward facing dog. I just find it easier to get into pigeon pose from down dog. I'm going to stretch my right leg up to the sky, and then I'm going to bring my right knee behind the right wrist, extending back out behind me, squaring off those hips, and folding all the way down. Of course, if it does not feel good for you to fold all the way down, you can stay up on your elbows or even up on the hands. Just 5 deep breaths here. One more deep belly breath. And rather than going back into downward dog, we're just going to lift ourselves up. And you can rock onto your right hip a little bit just so you can slide that left knee in. So find a 90-degree angle with that left knee. So my hip is in line with my knee and my ankle is roughly in line back behind it. So all we're going to do from here, it can be a little bit tricky and awkward to get into. You might want to rock your weight forward. See if you can lift that ankle off the mat. So it's just a little hinge. And if it's really not able to lift off, really come down onto your forearms. It'll give you a little bit more leverage. But over time, we're trying to be able to find that mobility of this internal hip rotation while staying upright. This isn't something that we practice a lot, so don't be surprised if it's harder than it seems. And just do about 2 more here. And now go ahead and see if you can pick up that leg, hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll cross at the ankles, downward facing dog, and we'll set ourselves up for pigeon pose on the second side. Left leg stretches up, and we'll bring our left knee behind that wrist. Take your time to settle into the edge of the pose, so where you have enough sensation that you're feeling a decent stretch through that left hip and into the glute, but not so much that it feels like you're struggling against the floor and like you have to really tighten up and tense up the rest of your body to overcompensate, or like you have to hold your breath. It really should not be that intense of a pose, even though it is a fairly sensational hip opener. Often we're trying to remind ourselves that less is more with yoga and with these kinds of movements. It's really easy to overdo it, and then we can risk injury, and it's just not worth it. So take a few more breaths here. And you can walk yourself up, lifting up, lean onto your left hip a little bit more this time, just so you can slide that back knee up, finding this 90-degree angle this time with the right leg. And again, you might want to be tilted quite far forward in order to lift the ankle off the mat. So we're just tilting and lowering. So you might notice one side is a lot easier than the other. I know for me, this side, I have a lot more range of motion. This is really not something that we get to practice very often. It's really great to do for your hips. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. And now this time, go ahead and just lift the entire leg off of the mat. Hold. And bring it all the way out. One last downward facing dog, just to stretch it all out. Creating space through the arms, through your chest, through the back of the legs. And let's bring our knees down, come to take a seat. I'll draw an affirmation for us here. Sitting up tall, we can internally repeat, when challenges arise, I stay anchored in hope. When challenges arise, I stay anchored in hope. Hands at the heart. Inhale to chant. Breathe in. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. Remember to tag me if you're doing this challenge and sharing any of it on social media. I always love to see your posts, your photos, your videos, all of that. And we do have a Facebook group for students who are doing this challenge. If you want accountability or just want to talk it through and share your progress with others, I'll link to that down below. Thank you again, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.